I
Somebody's got to
apologize.
take the
Well,
run, you know?
maybe we should do introductions since Dr. Professor Dr. Keith Dye just joined,
Professor Doctor.
isn't it?
Hi, I'm Keith Dye.
There you go. Then Jenny Dees at UTT, Stephen Greenall, our CEO, and Paul Hefner, one of our education consultants, is on. And then you have Melissa, and she's from West Music. I think online I've seen Elena, Kayla Myers, Phyllis, Carla Jones, Kelly, Sarah, Ryan, Amber, and Robinell. Am I missing somebody? What we want to do today is we're going to first talk you through a little bit of a presentation that I'm going to show you here. I'm going to start with the first slide and then so there we go. So I'm going to mute the participants except for you, Stephen. Just give me 1 second. That might be better for us. Manage participants. Mute all. Continue. And then I'm going to unmute Stephen.
Okay.
So I think we can hear you now, Stephen.
Great.
Perfect. So do you want to talk to this slide maybe even, Stephen?
Yeah, absolutely. So firstly, welcome everyone. It's great to have you here. I apologise for my English accent, but I am from England and I am sitting in England right now. And 10 years ago this month, I got together with a friend of mine, Hugh, and we had this crazy idea to really get kids engaged in music and brass playing, because at the time in England things were pretty dire. And our vision is there. It's really simple. We think about the world's greatest musicians of the future, and we want them to start their journey with us. So wherever on that pathway they progress, however far up they go, maybe it's right to the top of principal trumpet or trombone of the Dallas Symphony Orchestra, or maybe they just play in kindergarten, first, second, third grade, whatever it is they do, whatever that journey is going to be, we just want them to start their journey with us with things like this, the pBuzz, or things like this, the pBone, pBone Mini. And that's what we'd like to do, really.
So the agenda we're going to cover in the next, my guess is it'll be about 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Stephen's going to talk about our company background, a little bit about the instrument. We have, if you have some questions, just type them in and I'll be monitoring those. Then Jenny and Keith will spend time talking about real applications in the real world, how to get started, integrated and independent usage of the instrument, ideally how it is ideally suited for beginners, and Jenny has a host of practical tips and secrets that she'll be able to share with you. We also have Melissa Blum on the line here from West Music, who will have one slide, and she'll speak about the process of the TMEA grant, any preparations, where you can go find information as you prepare for that. Now, Stephen, you want to take over again?
Yeah, absolutely. So as I said, it was around 2007 when we formed the business. The trombone had been officially declared by the Queen of England, because she's head of our government. Wasn't really the Queen, but I always like to say that. So the trombone was an endangered species. Trombone, euphonium, tuba, oboe, bassoon. These were all instruments that were on the verge of extinction. And so we kind of thought about this as a trombone player since the age of 9. Someone who's passionate about music and music education. We wanted to do something about it. And our first product, the genesis of our first product, was a plastic trombone called the pBone, which has gone on to become one of the world's best-selling trombones. And in the UK, I'm pleased to say now that 80% of children who start the trombone in the UK start their journey on a pBone, which is great. So we're delighted about that. And this is just some of the fun that we've been having over the last 10 years. You can see it's going from all ages. What I love about this picture particularly is you look at the picture on the right hand side with the father and the son and how the son's got great posture, holding the trombone perfectly, and there's dad leaning backwards, trombone's up a bit, you know, so it's great. And the next slide, Bronislav.
Well, hang in a second. There we go. Sorry.
So here we are, what we say, nurturing the next generation. So you'll see there, like in the bottom left, imagining instruments in the classroom. They need to be robust. They need to be fit for purpose for teaching, which typically brass teachers can't play. And again, bottom right, great posture from those kids there holding those trumpets. And of course, we want children to have fun. And one of the things we're keen about, especially in the UK, is experiential learning and children at a young age having fun and engaging with the products in a fun and accessible way. Not saying we're all going to go swimming with the instruments, but some people like to do that. You don't need to go paragliding with the instruments. But again, some people like to do that. But anyway, we want people to have fun and enjoy themselves, especially the kids and also the teachers. And I suppose that brings us on to this product here, the pBuzz. So this is our third product. And like I said, we started with the trombone. Well, I should say it's our fourth product. We did a trombone, then we did a smaller trombone called the pBuzz Mini, and then we did a trumpet called the P-Trumpet. And then when we thought about what was our next product going to be, we're proud as a business to be very, you know, we're all teachers, we're all players, and we're all parents in some form. So we really wanted to think about growing the base of children who are learning a brass instrument. And obviously we're aware of, you know, gazillions of recorders that have been sold all over the world. We're not anti-recorder at all, but we think there's plenty of those around. And we're also delighted about the, you know, resurgence of the ukulele. And we're also delighted about singing and all those activities that kids are involved with. But the thing that we wanted to really address was, how do we get kids aware of buzzing? You know, buzzing of making a sound with the lips to make, you know, to create an authentic sound. So really for us, it was about creating that first sound, focus on buzzing, learning some simple notes, and designing it for kids. Now, when we looked into the cupboard of what the brass offer was for young children, the cupboard was bare, I'm afraid. So it was really back to the drawing board. We had to create something from scratch. So this is why the pBuzz is really exciting, because it's completely new. It's, you know, there's nothing like it at all. Some people say it's a bit like a vuvuzela, but it really isn't. And let me tell you why. Firstly, it's really accessible. You know, it's simple, it's lightweight, it's plastic. What does that really mean? You know, we've got little symbols, which, forgive me, you might not be able to see, but a little R on there for right hand, a little L on there for left hand. The letters are all there, the numbers are all there, it's colourful, it's really, really robust and strong, and it's completely authentic as well. So, you know, it's just simple, it rests, it's tough, it's maintenance free, you know, it's ABS plastic, much like most of the plastic you're used to seeing in your daily life. So you can just clean it with a simple damp cloth, or you can put the mouthpieces in warm water or in the dishwasher even. The hand positions are really clearly laid out. It's patented technology. So one of the things that we focused on right from the beginning is, how do we make it sound like a real instrument? So if you go online and listen to clips of our instruments being played, they sound like trombones, they sound like trumpets. And that's because we've really worked hard on how we manage the sound in instruments. The same here, we've used the same technology in this. So it uses a real mouthpiece, completely authentic, goes into a real lead pipe, has a real bell. And one of the things that we're delighted about, obviously, low cost, colourful and fun. So again, just to summarise, easy and fun way to learn music. You're using buzzing, so buzzing the lips. Obviously, you can buzz if you want into the mouthpiece, and then you can just buzz into the instrument itself. So what's really great about this instrument, especially in the general music setting, is you're explaining the relationship to pitch and length, and it's really visible, so that the children can instantly hear, as the instrument gets longer, the pitch is going to get lower. So really, really simple. And then just to make that clear, so the range of the instrument in concert pitch is an F through to a C. So if you're teaching recorder B, A, G on the starting position, you can do exactly the same things. So it all works in the same way as a recorder does. So the pitch is all relative to that, which is great. It's really, really lightweight, which obviously I can't demonstrate. You've gone a little bit early, Branislav.
Sorry, sir. I apologize, sir. Sorry.
All right. The other thing is it's all based on the same harmonic. So the instrument's designed so that the children will focus on the core harmonic of the instrument, which means you're not going to get all the other harmonics or partials appearing, which keeps it really simple. Like I said, we've got on here the letters. We've also got numbers on there, so which is interesting because it's kind of a bit like an homage to trombone. So the trombone slide positions, of course, the numbers are all relative. But the other thing is, just as an aside, is in the UK we're starting to see that number scheme used in math lessons. So you bring your math to music. So I can add 1 and 2 makes 3 and that sort of stuff. So that's just an aside. You've got the colours, which you'll immediately recognise fit exactly into the Orff instruments or the Boomwhacker series and things like that. So it's all the same. If you want children to play red, they'll play red. Red is a C, so it will sound like a C. And it's made of really tough, durable plastic. It has a very beautifully designed beginner mouthpiece, which is about halfway between a trumpet and a trombone. And the mouthpiece has actually got a very clever British invention, which is called BioCoat. It's an agent that kills 99% of germs within 15 minutes. So this mouthpiece is killing the germs straight away, which keeps things nice and clean and sterile.
So I think next we want to show you let you look at a video for a second. That will be about 1.5 minutes, I think.
Can't hear the audio, Branislav.
Oh.
Turn your volume up, I think.
The pBuzz program that we started in primary schools was aimed at year 2, earlier than we would normally start with brass players, but the pBuzz is designed especially for that age group, and maybe even year 1 as well. So we took some year 2 pupils and gave them pBuzzes and gave them 4 sessions and a performance.
It's just been an absolutely brilliant experience. Having music like this, an opportunity like this has been fabulous. It's been really lovely for me as their teacher to see them in a different way. In the past we've started from key stage 2, but to have an instrument suitable for key stage 1 really is beneficial. The sounds seem to be easy for them to make, and the sliding scale, rather than getting complicated with the keys, they had an instant change that they could hear. I think the thing that they enjoy the most about it is because it's so child friendly, because they're able to pick it up and within a short time be able to play a tune. And I think it's lovely for them to play it as well to adults, to visitors and to the parents. The parents were just amazed.
The children rose to the occasion magnificently. The way that the children behaved, their demeanour, the way they deported themselves in public, everybody in the audience was completely amazed, really.
I think the pBuzz is a fun instrument for the children because it's attractive, it's bright, it's robust, and it's a tool that they can walk around with. It's not heavy, they're getting results fast.
pBuzz is like a trumpet. I like the sounds they make. We've been doing lots of marching and playing a new tune. The best thing about them is I can change the sounds by using it long or short.
The whole experience of having the pBuzz in school has been really fun. The children have grown in self-confidence. They've been able to perform to their peers, to their parents, and to an outside audience as well. I think it's just been an amazing experience. I think it's a great way to introduce children to brass instruments and just finding a real joy of music. I think it's fun, it's accessible to all, it's been very easy as a teacher. I could actually work with the children now and develop what they've done with the pBuzz, which I couldn't do with any other instrument. And I would say definitely give it a go.
I was delighted with the way the project went. Everything went really well, and I was really pleased with the outcome.
Excellent. So, Stephen,
Right. Yeah, it's obviously great to see the instruments in the hands of kids, and the instruments, it only launched in the UK sort of last summer, so it's just been on the market just over a year now, and it's been really successful. I think especially in the what we call Key Stage 1, Key Stage 2, which is really your sort of K through 6 years. I think there's, it's been warmly received, and teachers are, coming up with innovative ways of integrating it into their practice. Now, one of the things that we've been able to do is on our education site, which Branislav is just showing a snippet of here, is we've got lots of materials, US and UK focused, of various activities that teachers have done, lesson plans, backing tracks and such like. So it's definitely worth having a look there for stuff. We've got videos as well on our YouTube channel. There's an example of a whole performance. And then here are all of our websites. You've got the pBuzz website and the education site, which just to make you aware of, which have got lots of resources and assets. And I've put in there a few examples of, which we might just have a look at a snippet of one of them, say, Branislav. But I think...
is there one particular you would like me to start, Stephen?
Maybe the I Feel Good one is a good one. So this is actually a class in the UK which is using ukuleles, singing and pBuzzes all together as part of a Christmas concert that we're doing. Yeah. I think that's enough for us in the sense of on the YouTube, obviously on the YouTube links, when you get the presentation is online for you to download. You can click on those links and see them in live time on YouTube. So you'll able to see those. But you can see there, obviously, the integration of percussion, singing, keyboards, and pBuzz all coming together, which is great fun.
Yeah, I think next would be a handover to Keith and to Jenny, but maybe we should just pause here for a second. I would like to make sure that we answer all of your questions or anything that you might want to discuss at this point in time before we hand over to Keith and to So I'm going to unmute you all. That would probably be a good idea. So everybody should be. Who wants to go first? Question? If you don't have questions, then just type them in and I can read them out. Benny, do you want to start talking about practical tips then?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you all for attending this today and that. And I'm not really going to say very much other than just to let you know that we're using these instruments. This is the third semester in our beginning brass class here with college, their methods class. But more importantly, Professor Jenny Dees uses this with her classes that are early childhood, she's in some situations, but also for elementary teachers, their music methods class. This isn't for the music majors, this is for just the regular elementary teachers for the course that they have to take in that. And so she's got tons of great ideas to incorporate these in a lot of creative ways. So I'm going to let her talk and I'll shut up. Okay. All right.
All right. So you guys, thanks again for coming to this. I am a flute player. I was raised as a flute player. I am not trying to, as opposed to Stephen, I don't need more brass players in my life, but if it happens, that's fine. So when I'm using this I'll use it at our Child Development Research Center here on campus with 3- and 4-year-olds. I use the pBuzz in the elementary setting. So some of the fun things to do, and you'll find this, some of these on the website, some of them are different. So with the little guys, I will play I Spy with My Little Eye something red. And then the kids all have the pBuzz and they play, I ask them to find what note are you going to play? C. Okay, play a C. I spy with my little eye something green. And it's just anything in the classroom. And the kids can go around and point to the different colors. Then they play it on the pBuzz to start to associate a sound with a color with a number. Okay? With a lot of the color coding, it's really good for students with exceptionalities, and it gives them something else besides just where it is on a staff. I don't even put it on a staff, obviously, for the little guys. I can use these all sorts of little pieces. So these are just foam pieces. The students can actually compose a line of music, and we play it according to the color. Okay, so maybe we're not putting in this on the staff yet, although if you put magnets on them, they will stick on a whiteboard, and that's a really fun thing to do too. That's what I found a lot of success with. You can, with the older kids, even 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, just give them color strips. They write the placement, right? It's a 1 is right there. On the back, they can write the name of the note. You can later put this on a staff if you're working on staff notation and reading notation. There are all sorts of color-coded ways to use the pBuzz. They could put either these numbers or these in a box like this, and they feel around and they pull something out, and everybody plays this note on their pBuzz. Okay, and they put more things down. Okay, cool. That would be fun. And I have done that with classrooms, and they think that that's a lot of fun. Something else you guys can do. I am the queen of using found objects. Okay. So if you're just using these colored paper clips, they can put them in an order, and then they play the sounds like this. These would be shorter sounds, bum, 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 bum. If you turn it like this would be a long, long, short sound.
Brilliant.
And that would be something really cool for them, a different way to compose. Then if you put in, what I've done with my kids is, if you put in a silver paper clip, that means they get to play any note you want, any note they want. If you put in a white paper clip, that means no sound at all. Okay, so you can do, I mean, although this isn't with rhythmic notation, it's prior to the rhythmic notation, but these are long sounds and short sounds, which is what the notation is anyway, right? You can also, once again, found objects, use balloons of a different color. They're blown up, and the kids stand in a row and raise their, maybe a half of the group is reading these two, half of the group is reading these two. So you don't just have one sound going on, but you have actual chord structures being created. We don't talk about the chord structures with the little guys, but it's important for them to have those kinds of sounds in their ear. Not only are they making the sounds, they are conducting when they're using these colored ribbon wands. I know I'm going really quickly. Is this okay, Bronislav?
That's perfect. We have first where we're going to put the material online already, so.
Yeah, if you want to use colored ribbon wands, right? The kids strap, you have someone with a green, someone with a red, someone with a blue, someone with and this group watches this group, and when they go up like this, they play a note, or this shows you how long that note is. Plus, using something like this can relate back to their airflow, right? So if it's kind of slower air, that's not what you want. You want the ribbon to stay going, just like you want your air to stay going for the kiddos. That's something that will help them it's a visualization for what's happening inside their bodies. So that's pretty cool. When I first start off, you guys, with my itty bitties, I tell them, and not just itty bitties, but fifth graders too, because sometimes there's not a lot of difference between pubescent children and little guys. I tell them, can you make this horse sound? And we all do that, and that's fun. And I say, okay, now tighten right here, and they do that. We put it on the mouthpiece, and we go. This instrument is so intuitive to their learning. And I'm a flute player, y'all, and I can use one of these. My sound isn't as beautiful as Dr. Dye's sound, because he's a trombonist. Bless his heart. I know Stephen is a trombonist. We allow that for them, and we still think they're good people. So there are a ton of ways, particularly with color coding, that you can use the pBuzz. You can play simple harmonies that you're using in your classroom if you're in a Kodai-inspired classroom. You can do the So-Mi-Do song, So-Mi-Re, So-Mi, and add the law. It's fine. You can do all those things. I wouldn't use boom whackers every day in my classroom because it would lose some of its effect. The same goes for this. Save it for days. Like, I use this as a reward system. Oh, you guys, we didn't play that. We didn't get through that game, so we can't play the pBuzz. Oh, Miss Dees, we'll do it again. We'll do it again. Okay, so this is a great reward system for the kiddos.
Perfect. So, yeah, thank you so much for doing this. Next, are there any questions? And I'm trying to monitor. It might be easier for you to type questions in on the bottom where you see the chat. So there's a share screen. There's an app that's just type in. If you want to type in your questions there, and I can just look at them. That way we can make sure that we get. So somebody said, I love Jenny's ideas. So I think it was Phyllis Kirkland.
Yay, I love Phyllis Kirkland.
Okay, good. And I think we had Gail Lewis said that she wants all the plans online and more ideas. So,
you can always email me personally at jenny.dees, JENNY, D as in David, EES, @ttu.edu. I kind of live in this world of coming up with crazy things and trying it out because I'm not afraid to try it out. So please email me. I'll tell you lots more crazy ideas and we will also get them online for you.
Perfect. Melissa, would you be okay going next now? I'm going to put your slide up. Actually, yeah, we had a... So we were, this is what, when you look at the presentation, this is what Jenny covered. So she gave you practical tips on vibration, on the mouthpiece work, the discover positions with the I Spy here, and color composing. We have a brag.
Branislav, I can't see the screen, sorry. Can you just share the presentation?
Yes. Thanks, Stephen, for catching me. I would have spoken for.
That's fine. Yeah, I like that paperclip idea. That's very cool. So
this was our, we call it the brag sheet. What teachers are saying, teacher validation. So we have a number of testimonials. You're free to read those at your leisure. Again, that content will be online here, or already is online. And then next would be, Melissa is going to talk to us just for a minute about how to prepare for this TMEA grant application, what you can do today, where to contact, and kind of like how this process is going to work. You want to just take it from here, Melissa, please?
You bet. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes.
All right. I don't have a camera, which that might be a good thing for all of us today. But I wanted to thank both Branislav and Stephen for letting us be part of this whole project. I've had the opportunity to work with both of them in person and see kind of the evolution of what.
Melissa, you need to move closer to the mic. You're a little bit further away. First was better.
Is this better?
Yes.
Okay. So I had the chance to watch the kind of the evolution of what was happening with this instrument, and we are just really excited to be part of helping you guys to get these to the classroom. So if you are not familiar yet with the TMEA elementary grant system that is happening, you should make yourself familiar to that. It is an extraordinary opportunity, and as Branislav said, even if it's not the classroom kind of pBuzzes that you're going to look for, we want to make sure that everyone gets a chance to apply and get some money and be able to have some new instruments or accessories for. Is that better? Sorry, I can tell people can't hear it as well. Is that working better?
Yeah, so let me just repeat that because I know the sound was not that great here coming through. Sorry, Melissa, we had your, I think there's an issue with your mic. Preparation-wise, you'll have 2 links. Go on these, look them out. In all cases, write to TMEA Elementary at West Music. They can help you to make sure that your grant is successful. And our friends at West Music had a special rebate for you. So in case you want to spend all $800 on from the grant on pBuzzes, they will happily help you with a set of 30. So this was the last slide I think that we had, or the second to the last slide. Stephen, you want to just talk about that for a minute?
Yeah, I mean, I think it goes back to the vision, really. It all ties together. So it's about children starting their musical journey as ourselves as music educators, as parents, as musicians ourselves. You know, it's about starting a legacy for them. And this is really what it's about. You know, it's future professionals, in a sense, giving them a chance to enjoy this great activity, which we're all so excited to be part of, which is music, you know, the international language. So
I'm going to stop sharing again, and maybe we can see the, let me just look at the questions here. Okay, so voice not coming through too well. Do you have a pBuzz book with maybe an accompaniment track, maybe something like in recorded curriculums that I have seen?
We do have some backing tracks already online with, and there's also some YouTube videos which have got the coloured notes, so things like Ode to Joy. We are definitely working on a more formal curriculum type book, but you won't see that quite yet. But there's quite a lot of other resources which are similar, which I would say would work. That's a great question about how does the pBuzz relate to the plastic trombone, and I'm so glad you've asked it. So this is the pBuzz. This is the pBuzz Mini, which is our sort of baby trombone. And as you're all experienced musicians, this is a C to an F concert. This is a C to an F on the Mini. And you can tell immediately the pitch is the same. So the child can associate this to this really, really simply. So yes, everything relates. The other thing is that the mouthpiece for the pBuzz is exactly the same as the mouthpiece for the pBuzz Mini. One of the things that we really wanted to do was to make sure that the authenticity of making the sound was really, really important. So in the sense that obviously the recorder is teaching a certain set of skills, we wanted to take it one step further. So with a pBuzz, the way you buzz on the pBuzz is exactly the same as you will buzz if you're a professional musician in many sense. You're using the same skill, air, embouchure, making a sound. And like Jenny said, it's just intuitive. There is a bit of a misnomer, you know, as brass players, often we like to make, you know, pretend it's a bit hard, but as Dr. Keith Dye will tell, really, getting started isn't that hard. Getting great at it is hard and takes years of practice and dedication. But getting started playing a brass instrument is actually pretty easy.
And you also avoid all of the fine motor difficulties of playing recorder. And as the children are developing their fine motor skills, that's great. But with this, because it's based on the gross motor skills, those kids can be more successful earlier with doing this than doing this and covering the whole. And I'm not anti-recorder either. I'm a flute player. I love playing recorder. I can go all day. But with our kids, they have trouble with this. This is better. It's visual. It's aural. It's color. Because of the color coding, I think it lends itself more easily to a greater population of children. There are a ton of instruments. There are bells that are color coded. There are, besides the boom whackers, there are bells. There are, just look on the websites. There's a ton of information where you can make an entire ensemble very easily and very successfully. I use these kind of things because my budget is small, so I'll go with the pBuzz and then I'll buy things at Dollar Tree.
So we had two more, or one question is, are the letter or numbers color-coded to match boom whackers? Yes, we mentioned that earlier. And then what is the online web address where I could purchase a pBuzz? Well, I have to point you obviously to West Music at this stage. So westmusic.com, that's where you will find them. Are there any other questions at this time that anybody would have? So we will send you many of you have pre-registered, so we will be sending you those pBuzzes, that single sample, out tomorrow. Please tell your friends and colleagues, and be thinking of us as you prepare for the 2017 Fall Grant. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to end the call. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.